at least if you want to write the good answer, you need to read the what bare acts. సార్ బేర్ యాక్ట్స్ ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి కదా, మరి 31 దాంట్లో ఒక్కొక్క బేర్ యాక్ట్లో దాదాపు 400 సెక్షన్స్ 200 సెక్షన్స్ ఉంటాయంటే కష్టం కదా అంటే కష్టమే. బట్ దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ హియర్ వీఆర్ హెల్పింగ్ యూ, రైట్? సో ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్ you need to address the very core part of the subject, right? Not only that, how you can identify the important aspect particularly related to one act, right? So if you take any question paper, previously question papers, right, generally will consider somewhere around 1980s to till 2023, but this doesn't make sense now if we consider this time period, because as the pattern is changed, right? Earlier there is no as such what we call the stages of exam is not there, but it is right now, it is we brought prelims, mains. Again earlier we are about to give the what offline exams, right? So now you are giving this CBT, computer based test, right? So that is the reason that you need to understood here in this case. Just you take 10 years of question paper, right? You go back and start doing reverse engineering. Easily you will identify within a one act which is important area and which is core area, and you can see the repetitive number of repetitive questions on the same area again, both prelims and mains. That is very important aspect that you need to understand, right? So look at this one here. Create a chronological study plan for each act and organize your preparation year by year. It is not by year actually, because those students who take the all India judiciary, right, those students particularly prepare for the Maharashtra, right, and then Karnataka, then AP, then Telangana, then what we call this, the Delhi, different, all India judiciary means they will provide you all, you are able to write the all India judiciary, it means different states. But here the point is, the one of the disadvantage if you prepare for the all India judiciary is the each state has their specific laws. That's what we call as local laws. So if you read the Ap-Jcj, what will happen, you see the AP Land Encroachment Act, AP Gaming Act, AP Excise Act, right? AP the what we call the Prohibition Act also is there. And then there is what with respect to the civil laws, if you go there you find the what we call this AP Land Encroachment Act is there, right? And then there is a one act, right, what we call the AP Building Rent Eviction the Control Act, right? That's also part of what, that also part of your civil laws. So now in this case again remember this one, it is not that much easy, right? If you prepare or if you focus on all India judiciary, what will happen, you need to, the syllabus is, you can see the what 50% of syllabus is different from one to another. If you want to write the let's say example I am telling you, if you want to write for what, if you want to write for the what, the exam of let's say Delhi, in the Delhi you need to prepare for what, jurisprudence, you need to prepare for the what, the administrative law, right? Again you need to prepare what, again it is critically, and it is it is very very tough actually when we are, if you focus on one state it is easy to crack that exam, because if you are keep reading the same thing again it is easy. But when you are reading for all India judiciary, అది ఏంటంటే పైకి వెళ్ళిపోతూ ఉంటారు, you are not able to concentrate, you are not able to figure out what you need to write or what you need to be focused. Again in this case what you need to be what, prepare actually, right? So that is the one thing. And when you are preparing for particularly one exam, right, like the Ap-Jcj, because if you are preparing for the Telangana, automatically you are preparing for Jcj, Ap-Jcj as well, because this 21 act also included in the what, Telangana. So we don't have the administrative law, right? We don't have what we call this the jurisprudence, right? And we don't have the constitution as well. But this is a very funny thing, if you go into any of the states you see the constitution is must and should, right? So that is the one thing. But remember that, so while you preparing, or at least while you reading this one, you do this one, create a chronological study plan for each act, right? In this, what is mean by chronology, ma? కొంచెం గట్టిగా, sequence. What sequence exactly? Right, very true. So in this case what will happen, when you are reading at least going from one act to another act, right, you make sure that you are reading chronology. Let's say if you are reading civil laws lo oldest act time undi padaka as per your syllabus, Contract. Year? 18? Okay, next. Time? 18? Limitation Act. Right. And then what about the evidence? Then what about the other acts that includes what particularly? I mean most of the acts like Registration Act is there, Instrument Act is there. Instrument Act is what, ma? 18? Sure? Are you sure? Right? 18? Okay. So mobile tarot chudandi, problem ledu, okay na? So avsaram ledu. Right. So just remember this one. This is what? This is when you are reading for the civil law, you make sure that you are, when you prepare this one, it will be easy actually. Otherwise, if you are reading, let's say, the family law, right? Family law, if you are reading, again, you need to go from the what ancient to, right now, whatever is so-called the modern legislation, right? Hindu code bills, right? It contains 4 legislations. What is those 4 legislation again? Marriage Act, Succession, right? Right. What more are there? Right. But the previous syllabus, if the AP syllabus, they have only one thing. One is Hindu Marriage Act and second is Succession Act. There is no adoption, there is no what? Maintenance Act. Right? So that is the one thing. But it is, if you are preparing for the what? Hindu Marriage Act, you need not to go for the Bhaiya ye Prachin mein kya tha, jaise Manusmriti thi, then what will happen? You need to read the digest and all this. 2 schools of the Hindu marriage, it's need not to go. Nobody will ask you all those. You strictly, again for your understanding, you can read those, you can refer that, but nobody will ask you what is the Dayabhaga school is there, Mitakshara school is there. Right? We are not going to write your academic exam, so please mind this one. So that is the reason. You stick to your act itself, and here the majority of the question from, not majority, 100% questions from only, that is what the bare act only. Right? So that is the reason. When you are preparing for this one, you make a flow chart or you make a what? The things for easy to revise, right? So that is what it is. Develop a structured study schedule that aligns with the what? Historical progression of each act. Right? Example, Hindu. Right? And same again if you go into what? Succession Act. Succession Act ela undindi. Again we'll discuss that well. But simple remember that it is, earlier there is no as such in, there's according to Manusmriti, can the female can own a property? No, right? And there are, earlier if you go into little back of this one, can you, you can see different type of societies. One is the male dominated society where the what? The property can owned or will devolve on the name of or in the name of what? The male candidate only. There are certain societies in India itself, there what? The society is what? Matrilineal. What is matrilineal again? Yes. So here the families, again the male, the matrilineal is simple thing is that here the females are leading. And what will happen if you go into the Kerala, there is a one culture. But in case of normal tradition, if you look for the, like Muslim laws or Muslim, the religion, whether it is Hindu or the different things. Here in this case, what will happen? When the couples got married, generally girl or woman goes to house of what? The male, right? Male partner. But in case of Kerala, there is one practice that when the boy is married, the boy has to come to what? The girl's house. Right? Again, this is, here itself we can see this one. But property also devolution is different with respect to those. Right? So that is the reason that meer andar cheptaru kada adi discuss cheyatledu, idi discuss cheyatledu kaadu. So we are sticking to what? Only the bare act, and whatever it is there, we'll discuss in the classroom itself. Right? So that is the one thing. Look for this one again here. Thoroughly examine the content of each section, okay, and paying close attention to the what? Details, and aim to condense the act definition into a concise one-liner. Simply it means you need to write your answer in bullet points. Right? When you are reading the, bare act, when you read the first, initially what will happen? It is very much difficult actually to understand the wording. Right? So you can use your, any legal dictionary is there if it is. Otherwise, if you are comfortable with this one, at least it will, మీరు ఫస్ట్ టైం చదివినప్పుడు మాత్రం ప్రాబ్లం ఖచ్చితంగా అవుతుంది, ఏం అర్థం కాదు. But if you read again and again, it will easy for you. And the next important part is you need to understand those words like when you are reading Bare Act, what will happen? You come across very new words, right? And those words will surprise you, and you doesn't know what exactly it's mean by, right? Just for the sake of the revision, you just note it down somewhere else, and you just read. Again, while before going into the bed, what will happen, ma? You just look at them. Okay, so that is the one thing. Here, carefully review and comprehend the content within each section, and striving toward a craft a succinct definition of each act. It should be very precise, and it should be, if you want, you can write as you understand. But ఏంటంటే bullet దాంట్లో రాసుకోండి, bullet point లాగా రాసుకోండి. When you expand those points again, you need to what? Frame a questions or frame a one large topic again, right? So that is the one thing. Next is what? Practice memorizing the definition of all the acts without referring to any materials. It means simply they are, in this case, simply telling that always you try to prefer the write the Bare Act definition, right? So generally what will happen if you, nobody will tell you that whatever the definition that you wrote particularly from the Bare Act, nobody will question you actually. But if you write your own language or own wording, what will happen again? Nobody will care you your opinions, right? You need to write what exactly the act says and what exactly it is in the act, right? You always try. అంటే ఒక్కసారి వస్తుందా అంటే కష్టమే అనుకోండి, but if you try again and again, it is easy, right? So that is the one thing. Next, in this case, look for this one. Commit the definitions of the acts to memory through a regular practice, right? And I told you yesterday also, and the definition of immovable property, right? If you want to write it in your own way, right, there are many things. పెద్దగా ఉంటుంది. You can write that. If you want to write the, if you want to define the immovable property in our language, it will be 1 kilometer. Okay. In case of if you use the word the Bare Act language, it is very very easy, and it is very small and concise. Okay, if you writing that definition, nobody will challenge you, at least nobody will question you, right? So that is the only one way that you can fetch more marks. Again, if you are writing the Bare Act language, again it will save your time, right? That is the one thing. And the next is, as a part of your Telangana AP judiciary exam preparation, attempt question papers from other state judiciary exams to familiarize yourself with the what? Various questions, formats and styles, right? Suppose if you are attempting the questions on the evidence, right? So you are not only, you need to take the evidence questions from AP Telangana, you just take the questions from the Maharashtra, right, Madhya Pradesh and the UP, Rajasthan board, right? So it will help you to at least the pattern of the paper, right? And దీంట్లో ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది అంటే wording is very important. If you go into the Karnataka paper, they will narrate one story, okay, and they will give you the situation and the what terms and condition, and you need to apply these conditions and you need to prepare judgments. But thank God you guys doesn't have the preparing judgment. No, you need to, they will give you one case law, right? And in this case you need to apply your brain by using different laws, different sections, and you need to write a judgment on this one. Okay, so it is different states has a different pattern of exam, right? And it contains some marks, and you need to write the judgment. At least the AP Telangana people doesn't have such pattern of exam, right? So again, what will happen if you are writing this one? आपको judgment कैसा लिखते हैं, कैसे पढ़ते हैं? Again, if you want, just go and read any judgment. You pick any judgment, whether it is relevant to exam or not. If you want to familiarize with the wording of the legal language, you pick any judgment, daily read only one judgment, not more than that. I'm not telling you to read a judgment which contains 100 pages. कम से कम ले लो 10-15 pages, 10 pages, right? It will improve your reading skills as well. Only one judgment, you take only one judgment, right? So one judgment is what? Again, if you have this one, 30 days, I'll take 25 judgments. 25 into, again, let's say your preparation is 12 months. You tell me how much it is, ma? 20 plus, let's say 20 plus 12, right? 200 plus 24, right? Again, let's say 5, 50 plus 10, right? How much, ma? 4. sorry, yeah. So here what will happen, man, let's say you are reading at least 300 judgments throughout your course, right? You are just not only, learning the language of the judgment, but you are preparing for, you are already, you know that 300 cases. That will help you. This is one of the advantage for your means answer writing, right? So that is the one thing. Just go, that is the reason that enhance your familiarity with the diverse questions from formats and styles by solving question papers from judiciary exams in different states. Okay, so it will give you a brief insight about these question paper patterns. And if you go into different states, what will happen? It is completely, మీరు తెలంగాణ పేపర్ చూసారు కదా, ఎస్టర్డే చూసా తెలంగాణ పేపర్. It is very very straight and forward, right? And as I told you, like, you need not to use your brain. आपको ब्रेन यूज़ करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. आपको जो भी आता है बस वो रिप्रोड्यूस करने का है. That is the one thing that you need to understand, right? So look for the next one in this case. The next one is next condition, what? Engage in solving subject specific multiple choice questions, right, from recommended textbooks on regular basis. Anyhow, with respect to this MCQs, we are uploaded already thousands of questions in the app itself. You go there and you practice, right? And that is the one thing. And here regularly, if you saw, let's say we are discussing the Hindu Marriage Act, then you start this whole week Hindu Marriage Act questions, right? So yesterday we saw that there is a straightforward question from these bare act itself only. You need not to refer any standard books. Like, if you are referring the standard books, it will consuming too much of time. And again, if you read all these one, what will happen? When you are referring for the specific topic, that is well and good. But you need not to read for this Hindu Marriage Act. ఇంత పెద్ద బుక్ చదవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, right? So suppose there is a Hindu Marriage Act, section 5 is there. What is section 5 of Hindu Marriage Act? Okay, void marriage, no.
Conditions